welcome to the DDA Monroe North TIFA informational meeting. So this is we have to do these twice a year, statutorily required. So just going to give you an overview of stuff that's going on with the DDA and TIFA. This is recorded so we can host it online and point to it if we ever need to. And if anyone wants to reference it later, you'll be able to find it on the website. So we have just begun our fiscal year 2025, started July 1. Here you kind of see the process that we go through each year, which kind of involves some work with our committees and then board discussions until it goes to the city commission. Our budgets get approved by the city commission generally in May of each year. So that process is behind us now. A lot of work each year, but we are still working toward implementation of GR Forward. That's our master plan for downtown. We have we're about 8.5 years into the 10-year plan. So getting to the tail end, the stuff that's left is, of course, the big, hard, tricky things, but we're still moving those forward. We are likely going to be doing an update to the master plan starting in 2025, calendar year 25. So starting to organize around building the scope of work for that process now, but stay tuned for that. In terms of what's in the budgets for the year ahead, DDA has a little over $15 million in budgeted expenditures planned. The TIFA has a little south of $2 million. You see up there the Downtown Improvement District as well. That's the business assessment that pays annually into a fund. They have a little over $1 million. That's primarily used for our Clean and Safe program, as well as some of the beautification efforts. But overall, amongst those three fiduciary boards, over 100 programs, projects, and initiatives. As I mentioned, a lot of stuff is multi-year, stuff that we've been working on for a while. Projects like Lion Square take a lot of years of planning, coordinating, but we are finally under construction, and seeing things like that move forward is great, and those are included in this budget. In addition, we have things like debt service payments for projects like the Acrisure Amphitheater. The DDA also continues to pay debt on the convention center, as well as a street project down near the downtown market. So a lot of things that span multiple years. We also have projects like Van Andel Arena Alley, the wayfinding, and then, of course, our events and activation, which is critical for our work these days. Just this morning, the DDA approved funding for World of Winter in 2025, so that'll be another staple for our work in the year ahead. Want to just highlight a few other projects broken down by goal. Touched on Lion Square and the amphitheater, and goal 1, which has to do with restoring the river. Continuing to provide funding for Grand Rapids Whitewater, and then also looking at river edge improvements between the JW Marriott and Blue Bridge. That project was approved for funding in May by the DDA, and the city should start construction later in this summer. That'll improve the lower Riverwalk area and will provide more accessibility to the riverfront. Goal 2, funding in this goal has to do with development projects. So we have agreements for a number of the developments in downtown that we provide funding for on an annual basis. But then we also are doing a lot of work to help organize neighbors. As our downtown neighborhood grows, we want to make sure that people are connected. And so we're continuing to provide programs here. One newer program that's just launched is a downtown farmers market over at Las Conchas, the futsal courts. So that's over near Seward. And so we continue to try to innovate ways to bring neighbors out and connect them together. On goal 3, which is around transportation and mobility, continue to provide funding for accessibility initiatives. That's a partnership with Disability Advocates of Kent County. Also have a number of capital projects, both for construction and planning. So Jefferson Avenue is actually under construction now. We're going to do some redesign of the Jefferson and State intersection right near the museum school. I'm also looking at some improvements over on Bridge Street. This is also where we provide ongoing funding for streetscape furnishings, our downtown wayfinding system update, which is ongoing, and then Dash support. Dash support is funded jointly through the DDA, the TIFA, as well as the City of Grand Rapids. Going to continue our work to support businesses and expand job opportunities in the district. So everything from retail innovation grants, which help provide rent support for new businesses and retailers to come downtown, from finding new ways to support business associations, as well as our downtown workforce engagement Is primarily our Relax at Rosa series that goes on throughout the summer every Thursday. But a number of initiatives here co-managed by Melvin Elledge and Marion Bonneau, who happen to be in the room. But a number of things going on here, all designed around expanding jobs and supporting our business community. And then lastly, but certainly not least, Goal 5 is our public space improvement and programming category. So number of capital projects are covered here. Van Andel Arena Alley, I mentioned previously. Canal Street Park, that the TIF is going to be really involved in the year ahead, is covered here, as well as things like World of Winter, our support for our prize, and just the ongoing events and activation that we know are critical to having a healthy downtown. So those are some of the initiatives we'll be working on, of course, throughout the year. The boards, before expenditures are approved, they come to the board for a recommendation and further vetting. So that'll be going on in the year ahead. And then I think my last slide here was just to point out for the DDA specifically, we are in the midst of approving an update to that plan, the statutorily required plan. So that is going to City Commission for hopefully its final step, which would be the plan adoption and ordinance amendment. And that's supposed to be happening next week on July 16th. So that'll expand a couple districts and allow us to further support initiatives along the riverfront. That is the end of my informational overview.